What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. So, I wanted to go through what's happened tonight, including Peetz's stream, which I thought was very interesting that Peetz said he wouldn't say anything, but couldn't not say things. So, to get you caught up, the order in which things happened was Salah put up this apology. Chantal then put up the taking him back video. In that video, she offered that Salah had not sent any inappropriate photos, but right after that, it was proven that he had. At that point, Foodie removed the taking him back video. Salah then removed his apology, and Chantal would go on to delete the live stream from today. Now, I will also offer that if you want to go watch Sansa cook, she did a great video that speaks to how she felt based on the comments that Salah had made about me. The verbiage, the punctuation, the typing does not seem indicative as to something that Salah would have wrote. That could have factored into why it was removed, but we also have to take into consideration that things came out in waves, including what took place between Salah and the other individual, and apparently Marty is going to cover this later tonight for those that would like to watch that. And that changed how the perception of everything was. Because obviously, as things came out, we would only see them as they were being released, and we can only presume that Foodie would see them in that same order, unless you are amongst the ilk that all of this was scripted by the three of them together, which I really just don't think that would be the case. So in Peetz's live, he initially starts off saying that he's here for Chantal, and that he's going to talk to her, but he's not going to speak for her. People start to ask if he can have Chantal unblock them. And at that point, Peetz says, well, I don't think I can do that because I can't get you unblocked from my channel. He then goes on to offer that he has almost 350 people blocked. Now, he doesn't say much more about the apartment other than we will see, but he does continue this mindset that if they are together, they are going to do cooking streams. And the fact that we know Chantal had came out and said they had been together, which technically is haram. They had always done cooking streams before. She had done cooking streams in Kuwait, and he has continually brought up the fact he wants to do cooking streams. Now, he does go on this little bit of a tangent that he never trusted Salah. He says Salah was nasty and a slime ball. And then the chat asks if Peetz would fight Salah for the honor of Chantal. And he offers that he's not that type of person. I think at that point he realized he had kind of said a little bit too much, and he tries to backtrack everything he'd said by expressing that he was talking about salad, as in the food, and says that everyone should, F salad. And that he is interested in drama, but, salad can get effed. If you watch his stream at around the 43-minute and 40-second mark, which please hit the like button because I had to watch it through that point, he starts to reference messages between Salah. And you can see the chat ask where Chantal is running off to. And Pete says simply, wherever. And within 10 minutes of that, practically, so around the 55-minute mark, if you go watch, Pete seems very perturbed. It looks like he's responding to, an email, a message. He doesn't seem to be on his phone, but he does this in such a haste. He does this in such a way that people in the chat actually ask, hey, are you okay? Is something going on? I would only argue that the times we've seen him like this would have been similar to the time that he inadvertently showed his address, if you recall that. And he responds, usual, same as normal. If that doesn't scream that Chantal was reaching out to him, I don't know what does. Now, I do want to close this out in a little bit different fashion because I know a lot of people have talked about this all being staged, this all being scripted, this all being done for views. The first thing I want to tell you is the videos are gone. So whatever you think Chantal is going to make from those videos, the exposure her channel would get is already limited. Now, every reaction channel benefited greatly. I think FFG got over 40,000 views just today alone. This was Chantal's most successful stream in probably a year and a half. So the fact that all of those videos would go away doesn't really bode to the thought process of she's just doing this for income. Salah, to that point, hasn't made a dime off any of this. The community posts are free. They don't earn any income. So it just seems strange that they would apparently be doing this just for the income, and then, in all sincerity, benefit the absolute least. Now, granted, she did gain a few subscribers, and I know that she really wants to hit that 100,000 mark, but I would also say that it's very unlikely, given her channel history, even if she does, that they're going to give her the plaque. They usually take a hard look at how a channel has gotten those views, how many guideline and community strikes that a channel has had. And it used to be, although I can't speak in all certainty, that if a channel had ever been banned, even for a short period of time, which her channel was, you were automatically exempt from getting the plaque. But I also want to show you my view count, okay? So you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, you can tell from this graph, and again, we're December 28th still. I've got 6% more views than I did in November. Just over 400,000 on this channel. Now, there's a lot of things that can factor into how much you make on YouTube. Video length, interaction, how many ads you embed, but I can tell you I'm pretty consistent in the embedding of ads. My view time is relatively high. Nothing has drastically changed, okay? You'll have to take my word for that, but as you can see on this revenue report, I've probably made about a third less than I actually did last month. And I know that a lot of people will sit there and say, well, you know, these are the highest months of monetization. Well, I mean, technically, November really is the biggest month. And the reason for that is you've got Christmas, you've got holiday sales, but now all of those things are over, right? They're not doing promotions for the holidays now. When you roll into January and February, we're actually going to make significantly less. And that's exactly what this is showing you, because the budget for all that holiday advertising is gone. You know, if you're a company and you've got, $100,000 to spend on advertising, you're not equally dispersing that throughout the year. You're going to put as much as you can into October, November, and then you're going to just pull back in January, February, March, because people have already spent their money. There's no point in selling them things. They're not going to be able to buy it because likely their budgets have been reduced due to the holiday shopping. So the time to have done this would have truly been last month. The time to have done this, honestly, would have been when they were together, because they could have controlled everything much greater than they are now, which is why we're sitting here looking at posts, we're sitting here looking at deleted videos, and we're trying to connect the dots ourselves. But if you just think about it from a communication standpoint, if they really were in this grand scheme of things, logistically, it would have been so much simpler for them to be side by side in the same room and kind of pinpointing everything out of, okay, this is what we're going to put out. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to respond. Because everything is so disjointed, even between the two of them, the more that I see come out, the less I'm inclined to believe that they're doing this, any type of agreement or any type of scripting. I'm going to leave you with the top comments from the last video. I appreciate you watching this, and I will be back as soon as I can with more content.